Hello and welcome to another league with Reclaimer AmuLIT. Yes, one of the classic greatest hits. Half green-white Reclaimer, half AmuLIT. 100% awesome. Is that? Yeah, that's probably like a good way to describe it. We already played one league with the deck so far. It's been performing. Having your one drop be a game winning threat. It's pretty powerful. Okay. YOLO. Has this version been better or worse than Tribe Scout? They're kind of just different. They're kind of just different. Like, they do different things. And they have different strengths and weaknesses. Honestly, it's pretty hype that the new tendency is for Stoneforge decks to not play Sword of Feast and Famine and play Sword of Fire and Ice instead. That has been a great tendency for us AmuLIT players. I guess my AmuLIT Titan players, period. Look at how smooth this turn was. Holy shit, that was a good turn. Jeez. What a ridiculous turn. The game hasn't even started and my opponent's dead already. Nice Stoneforge. Alright, so I guess my opponent gets one more turn. Oh, they're gonna main phase this? Opponent don't. Oh, wow. Brutal. Yeah, my opponent says that they're the fun Titan, but that's just not true. And they got a black source, so I don't even need to play around Path to Exile here. This is awesome. So we just go for Pact for Azusa, or just naturally draw the Azusa. That would be easier. Just naturally draw the Azusa. No big. This one, play this one, play that one. I guess it's better to bounce this and just play Flagstones. Yep. Keep this. Get Temple Garden. Just puts more lands in play. Garrison. Stronghold. Black Force, one-time opponent. No Black Force. Maybe they're waiting to use the Black Source till I have all of my zombie tokens. That's smart. That makes sense. Opponent has conceded from the game. We are the ones playing the fun Titan, right? We are the ones playing the fun Titan. Alright, Stoneforge deck. Whatever. We want this, we want this, we want these. We want this. We want these. Cut that one, cut this one. Cut one of these. I still don't know whether my opponent is going to be on a more taxi build. I think I'm going to go towards my opponent being on a more... I don't think that you would play the Shambling Vent in a more tax style build. I think that you would play that one in a more mid-range build, so I'm going to go towards that. Probably means that I don't want Force. I still want Drex Sage, obviously, but I probably don't want Force. Seems unnecessary. Particularly because it seems that they don't have Feast and Famine, which is obviously awesome for us. Since we're playing against a slower deck, maybe I don't want AmuLIT. I probably still want it, though. Should we consider Ashiok is the question. I think we have to consider Ashiok, actually. I think we'll have to consider Ashiok. Let's go with this and see what happens. I think I like this hand. We don't like it as much anymore, but I'm gonna play this tapped. I care more about not ramping than the damage that this battle will come do. So I'm gonna play a tracker. It's bad if my opponent goes exactly like Batter Skull, and then next turn they untap and they play the sword. But otherwise, this just seems like a much better use of my mana. Out of all the plays that my opponent could have made there, that was probably the worst. And they didn't even have the Fatal Push? Like, the only reason to make that play is because of Fatal Push. Oh, maybe they just need to fix their mana for Ashiok or something. Which is a little bit more defensible. Liliana. Yeah, okay. That actually makes sense now. It actually makes sense now. It's just that their mana base sucks. But they have kind of time walked themselves multiple times now. Okay, so let's play Dryad, and I'm gonna just Oh, I actually messed up the sequencing. Yeah, now I'm giving them the choice to path me here. Yeah, I fucked this one up. I should have. I messed up the sequencing. That sucks. Okay, so now they're forced into fielding me, which is gonna set us super far behind, but at least we're gonna be able to purge this thing. Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to shock, right? At that point, I was kind of like, I'd rather be able to hide. I think I'm gonna bin one of these purges. They bin a second Stoneforge. They have to field now. There is no way around it. I guess they can. No, but if they let me untap, they're letting me crack the clue for free. Yeah, they figured that out. There was yeah, they cracked on that. That was the correct line there. Okay, Azusa. Not bad. Not bad, actually. So now we can do this. And we see what opponent does. And I think I'm still going to allow them to Liliana. Because if they minus on my Azusa, that's fine. If they plus, I can draw a card and I can try to set up this Titan. And I think this is fine here. It's mostly because I'm interested in seeing what this glue has. Because like we need the lands, right? So this line just time walks them. So wait until my opponent minuses the Liliana. And now we purge the germ. Everything played out exactly as we wanted. Any land and tap land. Brutal. Bounce land. T West. Thoughtseize or bust, basically, is what we're looking at here. Purge the Germ 2020. Yeah, it's basically... Are you gonna show me what your last card is? So I'm kind of trying to play around Tide Hollow's color here. Oh no, opponent. Oh no, opponent. Oh, okay, they split the difference. Okay, that makes sense. So I care more about them drawing a card than I care about the life they're gonna gain. So we're just gonna go with this. Because I don't want them to draw into another field. Now we just Titan. Field. Semi-growth chamber. I think I'm gonna bounce this thing. Maybe I should have... That was bad. I should have bounced the T-West and I should have held the Crumbling Vestige. That was a punt. I think it's not going to matter. I think that we're going to be able to win this. I'm not too worried about what they have going on over there. That's a 3-mana 2/2 right there. There are no legal targets for that ability. Literally no legal targets for that ability. Yep. 3-mana 2/2 resolves. Joni, Stephanie, thank you for the follow. Just chomp. Let's cast Turn Timber first, see what we get. Wreck Sage? We got a Wreck Sage? A 5/4 Sage even. That's insane. Wow. Oh man, I love this card so much. Oh, I love that card so much. That is so great. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It puts counter if it's CMC 3 or less. And Sage is CMC 3 or less. Tracker is CMC 3 or less. Beefed up Sage is beefed up. That was awesome. I didn't even remember then that Sage was a card that I could find off the top. That is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. I love it. Oh man. That is so sweet. Oh man, that was sweet. I just don't understand like the naysayers of Turn Timber Symbiosis. And I know that Punt has been a naysayer. I wonder if he's been playing with it since, but it's been like insane for me. Like, it's been like so ridiculously good. Sure. Just keep this. It has been so good for me. Grixis Shadow? Looks like Grixis Shadow. The Natty Bog is gonna make an appearance. Slow down them Gurmaganglers. Natty Bog gonna make a clutch appearance. They took my Explore, so that has to mean that they need another discard spell. They did target them. Ooh, Goifo? Very interesting. Not surprising. Well, I'm gonna Sanctuary now. This is the only card that I don't know about. So if we find the Dryad, we'll be in fine shape. Asusa is probably our best top deck right now. They mill me? Why on earth would you want to mill me? That makes literally no sense whatsoever. So I feel like I wanna... Yeah, I feel like I wanna bog them. Instead of... This delays the transmute for one turn, right? Because I could have copied the breeding pool. Seems worth though. So I think my opponent is just playing like Sultai Shadow. Okay, this is actually important because my opponent definitely has Snapcaster. But if I play the Garrison and I bounce the Bojuka Bog, then we're not, and I replay, then we're not gonna be able. It has to be worth it, right? It just has to be worth it. Like if they don't have removal, Reclaimer just wins by itself. How do you last league go? It went 4-on-1. Which is pretty good. And we untap with Reclaimer, and it didn't even matter because we also drew a Titan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can do both if we wanted to. Oh, they could have Mana Leak, I guess. Do we play around Mana Leak? Or do we play around Thoughtseize? Drown? Drown is interesting. We can play around Drown very easily. How do we play 2 lands in the previous turn? We cast and explore. Is it worth it to play around Mana Leak? We get got by Thoughtseize, but we can beat Mana Leak super easily by just getting a Cavern of Souls with this Reclaimer. This is tough. What really makes it tough is the fact that we have 7 mana. If we had 8 mana, I would definitely jump the Titan, because worst case scenario, we just get a Reclaimer activation. But that's just not the case. Yeah, I think that I'm just gonna wait it out. So I'm just gonna copy my opponent's breeding pool. So I have blue mana, so I can set up another Titan. I feel like if they had Drown in the lock or something like that, they would have already used it, because this Reclaimer is extremely threatening to them. Maybe they're just like thinking, okay, I literally cannot beat the Primeval Titan, so I just have to hope. It seems like a pretty bad play for them, though. They also targeted me with the bubble, and there's literally a dude that that shuffles the deck on the battlefield right now. So that's maybe not the most productive play that I could have made. Does the shadow play leaks? They sometimes do, and my opponent's not playing a deck that has a stock list, right? They're just playing straight up Sultai. So because they're playing a list that is not stock, no, they don't know about that. Never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am trying to figure out what I need to play around. The opponent has conceded from the game. And it's pretty damn sweet when your one drop just wins the game by itself. You do feel quite powerful when you just play a one drop and that just wins the game. You never need to really play any other spell. Just your one drop goes the distance. Feels Reclaimer, man. Feels Reclaimer. Sideboarding with this listing and this kind of strategy really has been tough to me. We do have a little bit of a problem of having too many good cards, which I guess it's a good problem to have, but too many good varieties, it's a condition. Maybe trim more lands on board. I don't want to. I actively want the lands in my deck. Maybe in this matchup specifically we can shave what? Like Bog is important, this is important. Crumbling Vestige. That's a card that allows me to Reclaimer on one. I don't want to cut that. Ghost Quarter was the easy cut. I feel like I want to cut something else, but I don't know what. Maybe a basic. But it also costs Reclaimer on one. Yeah. Explore's so good. Maybe we should just cut all the amulets. It seems really tough to work with this list. Keep. 100%. 100 times keep. This hand is delightful. We got Ashiok covered. We got a Relic for a Goyf/Angler. Which they could be playing, by the way. We also have Asusa, which ramps us up. They took the Relic, jeez. That's a statement. That's a hell of a statement. I could have played these explosives out. I just don't think that it's worth it. Decay Shadow. If the Angler here, I just purge it, slow down the clock. They can't Shadow. opponent just can't poke a hole in this hand. Too strong. Thoughtseize. Probably have to take Azusa, I would say. If they have something like Ashiok, maybe they take Purge. It just feels like this hand is really well suited against what my opponent's got going on. Doesn't look like they're having an easy time figuring out a way to navigate this game. What's up, John? MTG bot, the hero. MTG bot, the hero that we don't deserve. What's up, John? How are you doing? How's your Thursday, John? How is this beautiful little Thursday for a Canada man like yourself? Enlighten me. Azusa blocking Shadow. Easy. Ashiok doesn't do anything. Day's lovely. Just mom sitting down to watch one of my favorite streamers. Aww. Who are you watching? Oh man, I want to figure out that Reclaimer was the threat all along. Seems kind of important to purge this shadow before. Ooh, okay. Let's purge that one. Of course, no attack. We don't want to grow their death shadow. Do I double block here? I feel like I double block. Hell yeah, I double block. No fear. No fear whatsoever. I don't know how I feel about Scourge in this kind of deck though. Like if you don't have access to Lightning Bolt, it feels like Scourge is going to be dead in your hand a little bit too often for my liking. Of note, they do have Revolt enabled right now. So if they do have Push or they do have Snapcaster, we're kind of chomping with the Azusa and forcing the removal on the Dryad basically. But I think it's fine. Also, we can just take it too. What happens if we take it? Oh, they just cycle? Oh, because they knew that there was a Wraith on top, so they wanted to grow the shadow. That makes sense. So I guess we're just going to take 4. Oh, they found the push. Okay. Okay. Of course, we have multiple games that just straight up win the game at this point. Multiple draws. Did you just say multiple games? No, multiple draws that just win the game on this spot. No blocks. Lol. Did I say that we had multiple draws to just straight up win the game? That's exactly what I meant. Exactly what I meant. T-West Field? Sure. This plays around. Like one of the few answers my opponent can have to this Titan is Assassin's Trophy. So now if they trophy my Titan, we get a 2/2. Start getting that going. Does that look cool AF? Indeed. It is cool AF. Do you see the deck list? Reclaimer, baby. Just throw in Reclaimer in literally every shell that's green and then get splash white. Easy. Just wanna make your medium decks good. Just add Reclaimer. It's a recipe that never fails. Just add Reclaimer. So the only thing that we don't want to see is a fetch land, because that potentially could mean Temur Battle Rage. Because like so far my opponent had multiple chances both games to go get a red source, but they didn't, which makes me think that they are either not splashing or they're purposely trying to hold on to that information so they can one-shot me eventually. Dismember. What? Dismember the Azusa? Traverse. So we go down to 1 and we attack for lethal? Sounds good to me. Do you have a way to ping yourself for 1? Can you ping yourself for 1? Because you're dead, opponent. Yeah, I think... I think my opponent might have miscounted there a little bit. Because it was not a good bluff when I can just like do the math and know that it doesn't work, right? And with them being at 2, there's literally nothing that they can do. Like, they can't even gut shot me. So there's nothing that I have to play around. That was weird. I mean, it's one of the issues with Death Shadow, right? Like, it's a good deck, but it doesn't tolerate any mistakes. Definitely we got lucky to top deck the Titan in that specific turn, obviously. Look at this hand, just absolute gasoline. Absolute gasoline. Unstoppable force. I'm pretty sure there's some card that deals 1 damage for a G, but it's not one illegal. Yeah. Got lucky, was dead to bump in the night. Yeah, but I was dead to that all along, so like I'm not gonna play around that. Like it looked like my opponent was trying to bluff me, right? Holy crap. These draws are pretty damn good. Can we find exactly a castle off the top right here? Ooh, okay. Maybe this is not as clear cut as I thought. No Metamorphose, 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 no Metamorphose. No Morphose. They're playing Shadow. pretty sketch. Like a pretty sketch little line right there from opponent, but I'll take it. We have second Azusa, so I guess I play this to force my opponent to tap out main phase. 5, 10. If they have exactly TBR, no, we would lose if they have exactly TBR. So 6, 12, yeah, so I guess I would lock here. Pog. Okay, so we might have a lethal line here. We might have a lethal line. So, oh no, duh. We just, our Azusa survived. I was trying to do the math, like thinking, okay, so if we do this and this, it's just like, oh yeah, our Azusa survives, so this is just easy mode. I was thinking that we just didn't have enough land drops, but this is just, yeah. This is just easy mode. I just assumed that my Azusa was gonna die, so I was trying to figure out like a tough turn, trying to like idolize Azusa and whatnot, and then I'm like, oh, that's right, yeah. Actually, we just win. Sweet. So Valakut, Stronghold. Red, white, bounce, combat, serve, trigger, Vesuva. Get to play 2 lands with each of theirs, so you just lock by default +2. No, that doesn't work with the legendary rule. This, and this one. Yeah, what Spirit Walker said there. It's kind of a weird interaction, and in fact, it worked the way that you would want it to work many years ago. But at some point, they made this switch. No, Deem Sir, it just doesn't. It did work like that back in the day, but it doesn't work like that anymore. But yeah, even for example, if you have an Explore, let's say that you have a Dryad, right? And you make your extra land drop with the Dryad, and after that, so you have made your land drop for the turn, and then you have made 1 extra land drop, and then you cast an Explore. With the Explore on the stack, your opponent kills the Dryad, you don't get an extra land drop, because the Explorer looks at the amount of lands played and it says you might play 1 additional land this turn, but you already played an additional land this turn because of the Dryad. So if the Dryad is not dead, obviously you play the extra land from the Dryad and you still get the extra land from the Explorer. But if the Dryad leaves play, or the Azusa for that matter, you just don't get the effect. It's pretty strange the way it works. Like I had the same issue that you're having. Like because of how it's worded, I would think that you should be able to do what you think you should be able to do there, but it just doesn't work like that. How long ago was that? Like 4 or 5 years or something? Maybe more. I honestly don't remember. Like, when I started playing AmuLIT, I was kind of a Pepega, so I didn't really know. But at this point, do I want Reclaimers in this matchup? I kind of don't. I guess let's leave a couple. I definitely want all the Azuzas and the Dryads and Veloth. Let's do this. Nah. Why did I cut a forest? Because my opponent has nothing to punish me? I guess they might be splashing for Path to Exile, but like it doesn't matter. And if I'm cutting Reclaimers, I don't need untapped green as much. I already cut my Cavern, right? And I already cut my Ghost Quarter. So Forest seems like the next worst card. Adam, did you think about follow? Because it doesn't fix my mana. Man, this hand is kind of great, but also isn't. I think I'm gonna keep it, but like if my opponent has a Thoughtseize, this hand just backfires hard. Brutal. So now that the Azusa is gone, I really need to top deck something good. They play Wildfire, and I usually assume most of my league opponents do. Most of my league's opponents are Pepegas, okay. Yeah, that's actually like a fair point. That's actually a fair point, actually. Maybe I shouldn't have cut the forest. I don't know what I would cut, though. Maybe I can cut one of the flagstones. The thing is that I actively want the white mana. That's the problem. Like, my mana is stretched in so many different directions. I think... Okay, they targeted me with Bubble. So I guess they know about this, so I might as well just play it. They had perfect information. Yeah, Bogus may be an okay cut. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Next for game 3. Dia187 with the tier 1 sub. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for the 18 months. 18 months. That's many months, my friend. Really appreciate it. Okay, so they're not splashing white. Good to know. Put Lurrus in hand. That's good for me. I'm of course saving the castle for last because of cleansing wildfire. Going strong, good content. Thank you so much, Dia. I appreciate it. Played against his opponent last night. I'm fairly sure they play Apostle's Blessing. Okay. Doesn't really change anything. Yep. So they can wildfire here. I did bring the second. I guess if they have another wildfire, we're pretty screwed, but My gets with Titan are pretty much locked though, so I have to get Caveira Crossroads on the second field. Like, this just has to be Lurrus into bubble, right? Unless they want to gamble. It has to be. Wow! We're getting punished for my cyber thing? Like, they know about the castle. That is so greedy. I guess that it makes it so I don't have enablers. I cannot get zombies, I guess. So it makes a little bit of sense. I was just getting slower. They have lethal. What the fuck are they doing? I was just getting slow roll. That's brutal. The XLV, thank you for the follow. Like, they literally just had lethal. Like, what were they thinking about? Wow, that's messed up. What a big mic play. Maybe they are this disciple. Yeah, disciple is how you pronounce that word. Maybe they're Big Mike's disciple. You know, you never know where a Big Mike hordes are. You know, they literally had lethal, and they're like slow rolling me. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this in. That's so brutal. Is there a worse feeling than getting slow rolled? It feels awful to get slow rolled. Azusa! Man, I should have screamed louder. There's an argument for playing the turn timber there. I don't think it makes too much sense. I think it Thoughtseize here or not. That's a pretty good start for them. It's a lot of damages. Wow, we really drew like shit, huh? We really managed to somehow draw like absolute shit. So I guess we have to back for Dryad here. Because this allows me to start triggering Balakut next turn and start killing my opponent's dudes. Of course, if they don't have anything, right? But like I'm super fucked as is, so. Threw away 2 trophies the other night because I made some really tiny punts. It happens. So we lose to push. Probably lose to Lightning Bolt as well. I'm gonna block here though. Like I cannot play around anything. Can't play around literally nothing. Let me just put this card in the AmuLIT Among Us Discord. Brittle Effigy. Crazy. Yama with the host, 264 viewers. Jeez. Thank you so much, Yama. Welcome everybody from Yama's stream. We're getting kind of wrecked here. Just drawing like shit. Drawing like absolute shit, but maybe, just maybe, we managed to get there. How was your stream, dude? Also Temple Garden. For those of you that didn't check out the deck list, we're doing some Reclaimer, AmuLIT hybrid nonsense. Something tells me that we're dead here. Got to go make fists. I have not eaten yet today. Dude. You're crazy. Reclaimer AmuLIT OnlyFans? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Is that lethal? Not yet, but it makes it a lot tougher to win. Tell you that much. I guess that we win if we find the Titan. So that's cool. Is my opponent gonna slow roll me again? Please, no slow roll. Titan off the top! Okay, so I guess we still have Turn Timber. So if we get there with Turn Timber, we win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of sick, actually. All right, chat, give me your energy. Let's do this. Let's do this. Feels bad, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That was funny. Yeah, that was the point. Don't worry about it. That was exactly the point. So I guess that the message got across. I think I've been on the draw literally every single match in this league so far. Keep this. Thumbs up for the sounds. Hell yeah. Alright. So now we just have to find the Titan and we're gonna win very easily. Pablos, who, thank you for the follow. Wait, what? Are we playing against Control? Playing against Omnath nonsense? Wait, I think that we're. They play Winsome Heath? Jeez, really? Winsome Heath? Weird. Well, we have successfully entered the hope we draw a Titan phase of the game. If we do find a Titan, we're gonna win very, very easily. If we don't, we're gonna lose. System list with double strike land, candle list with only handwire also kill the turn they play Titan. With only handwire? What do you mean? Like without the Sun Home, if I imagine is what you're saying. The answer is yes, you can win. Ooh, hello. I guess they're ooh. Okay. Shit's happening. So they shock, so they 100% have a path. Obviously bad for us. Oh, they mean handwear. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. So I mean, the list with only handwear cannot kill unless you have a double amulet. I think no, unless you have a dryad. You need to have a dryad, and I think you need to have double amulet as well. But it is like it's a lot easier to kill with Sun Home in your deck, right? Wow, they don't have another land. Titan, let me punish. Let me punish. Yes. Don't have the force. Good. Okay, I think we might be in okay shape here. I also suspect that my opponent has access to Path to Exile, so we're going to try to play around that. So I guess I'm going to get Valakut and Tolari West here. Yeah, never do this. What my opponent just did, never do this. It just gives me too much information. Like, now I know that I don't have to go for it. And particularly when you have double AmuLIT in play, you just get to make a lot of mana, right? So I think I can actually Titan again here. 1, 2, 3. We get... Yeah, we can actually just Titan them again. So don't do what my opponent just did, because you might get yourself just dead. And they didn't Force of Negation the first one, so I have to assume that I'm not going to play around Force. This game could have been close, but my opponent made it very easy. So this is Valakut, so we're just gonna do face. What list would you recommend as a new AmuLIT Titan player? Something that doesn't play Karn the Great Creator. Probably something like what Big JC was playing. That's probably your best bet. Probably bringing in Purges, but not Paths. And definitely bringing in Relics. So we can shave one of these. We can shave a couple of these. We can cut a castle, and because I don't want to cut Ghost Squatter, but I have to cut Caviar Crossroads. Purge kills Sashiok and Omnath, maybe a Red and 6 if my opponent's playing that, which is very possible. Explosives is kind of bad, but maybe I just need it. Remember when we shuffled up and played without sleeves? I mean, I only played without sleeves when I was a kid. I didn't really play after I understood what cards were worth. I'm not that old. I started playing in Odyssey, and people were reasonable by that point in time. And sleeves were allowed. I don't want to cut one more land. Probably just cut Vestige. Yeah. Quite a sick on AmuLIT. Yes, please. Move to 5 from OP. We played a 1-drop, so we don't even need to go to discard to hand size. Value. Value. What the hell? I think my opponent's not playing what I think they're playing. Alright, I'm interested. I am interested. I am a simple man. I see a Ladamri skull I like. Okay, it's not that tough to figure me out. Cleansing Wildfire. Oh, that's fucked up. That's actually not a bad draw, because now we get to play this. And now with the trigger, the Omnath trigger on the stack, we get to purge it. And then we untap and we miss the... That was a really good Wildfire though. 100%. 100%. So here comes the Omnath. Omnachi. Or maybe not. Or maybe still yes. Yeah, still yes. Trigger on the stack. GTFO. Eladamri skull. Holy crap. Alright, opponent. You got me. You got me, opponent. Hope you're happy. Shock. Dryad. I guess I have to play Garrison because it allows me to Titan next turn. It's bad against Wildfires, but it's fine. Like, I'm not excited about it, but hopefully my opponent will tap out for another Omnath here. And then we can get him. What is this banana flagstones for? There's a 1-drop in Modern that's very, very powerful. It does some pretty cool things. Damn, son. Alright, opponent, you got me. I'm hooked. Show me more. I want to see more now. This is a sweet list. We 4-1 the first league. And now we are 3-1. Let's see if you have the pact the force opponent. You don't. Zvit. So boom, boom, a boom, a boom. I think we just Valakut T-West here. Valakut Field actually seems better. Valakut for sure. I can't let my opponent tap with a prime time. I know that all too well. But I'm going to do this before this dies because they could have Ren. And I guess that they could have like the land from the new set to punish me for letting them have the Titan, but it's fine. Gotta play the opponents next, yeah. I mean, I kind of like what they got going on. I think that they have a very proactive plan, and maybe they're lacking a little bit in the interaction department, and our proactive plan is just a lot better than theirs under normal circumstances. I guess it's not a lot better than theirs, but it is considerably better than theirs. It's just every good card. Yeah, that's a way to describe opponent's deck right here for sure. So their last card in hand needs to be exactly Path to Exile. And honestly, I'm not even sure what they are supposed to path. I think they're kind of supposed to path the Dryad. No, they have to path the Titan. Because otherwise the Titan goes and finds more Dryads, so... I think that they just have to path the Titan. Just gonna happen now, I guess. Red, blue, gust. We literally do not care, right? Literally do not care. Put it on top. We can draw it if we need to. And now we just do this. And I think I want to kill the zombies because the only possible way that I can lose this game is to my opponent somehow. Like Cryptine locking me and beating me down with zombies. Like, I don't think I need to go phase. Because the next turn, like, my opponent needs to find an answer to the Titan, or they are just legit just dead, so... I think that this is fine. Can fetch here, they can put Gust back on top. I kind of don't care. They don't have... Okay, so they don't have Sanctuary. Or maybe they just think that Gust is not enough. They should not be fetching here. Fetching there is very bad because of Omnath. Opponent having Hoof is the way that I lose. That would be sick. But unfortunately, I still don't lose even if they have Hoof. Because I just draw my Titan, exile their yard, I fetch, I kill this, and the Hoof is only like 7. No, it's a 6-6, and this is a 3-3, so... Hoof doesn't even do it. But that's cute, though. That is sometimes a fun thought experiment. Like, how can I possibly lose this game? And you're like, no limits, so... Let's just go. Let's just go and let's try to figure out how I can lose this game. So I guess that the way to lose would have been the Fairy Hero of Dominaria into Nexus of Fate. Because they had like an Utopia Sprawl, so maybe it would have been fine. Look at this hand. Perfect hand. We're totally going to draw Splinter Twin off the top too. The best hand. The best hand. The best. I don't think I've ever seen as many Elvish Reclaimers on a screen at the same time. No! My opponent has Splinter Twin and I don't! And they're on the play. Damn it. Remember there was a 3-week period with Titan, Uro, and Hoof. If there was, I don't remember. I'm being honest with you. Give me that Flagstone. Yes! 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 God damn it, I'm so good! I'm so freaking good, chat. How can anybody be this good at this game? So now we play on. And also my opponent did not set up another Reclaimer activation. Pablusu with the Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Jeez. Poggers indeed. Good, there is no Cabal there. Oh, wow, my opponent's just the luckiest on earth. Okay, chat, we're gonna get him. Probably not gonna get him, but we might get him. So I think I'm gonna go get another Flagstones, and then I'm going to Reclaimer, and then we're gonna Pact for Dryad, and then we're gonna just try to nuke their board. So even if they go for Titan, we're still in okay shape. How do I see Wall of Blossoms in white-green? I think it's unnecessary and a little bit lackluster. I'm not a fan of the card, really. Whenever I tried it, it just seemed worse than Explore, unless you got paired against specifically the Prowess decks. And even still, it wasn't necessarily better than Gracer, because Gracer is just cheaper, fits better in your curve, and it progresses your game plan. Maybe I can just draw 3 Flagstones. Oh, they just have a path. If only they knew. We're definitely gonna get another Flagstones here. You could have cast Titan. I don't want to, right? I want to go for Dryad. Dryad's winning this game. Titan isn't. Because if my opponent plays Titan, like, we're actually behind, right? Or if they play a Dryad of their own. That's really bad for us. So if I GQ my own Flagstones, what happens here? I force my opponent to do stuff. I guess they can bog me. But if they bog me, I still... Yeah, but the story of this game is my opponent was on the play and I was on the draw. The story of this game is that we were on the draw. So if OP has... If they have another land into Bojuku Bog, we're just fucked. Yeah. That sucks. Yep, I think my opponent sees the line. I think that they see the line. Getting more fucked by the minute. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think that there's any way that... Like, let's say I cast Titan, right? My opponent does the same thing and I lose. So now the way that I win... there's actually no way that I win. My opponent just has lethal on board. So yeah, this game was just unwinnable. With how the cards turned out, my opponent being on the play means that this game was just unwinnable for us. Wall is much better on the mid game. I don't think Wall is better. I don't think Wall is very good, period, as I was saying earlier. I guess I might need Bog, actually. If you cast Titan, you'd have the out of top deck Dryad, but not sure if that's correct. Well, but I'm still, like, I wouldn't have anything in play, right? And I would have to pay for my Pact on my turn. So even if I draw it Dryad, I guess I would need to find... Because my Titan would be dead. My Titan would be dead, and I have no board state. And my opponent still has the same stuff, right? So I think that it actually puts me in a worse position. Yeah, Reclaimer won that game by itself. I mean, of course, Reclaimer plus Dryad, right? Obviously, but like that's what the deck is trying to do. So, yeah, this card's pretty busted. Thank you for the follow. I chess bloomed. Shave, a vestige, and maybe a pact. No, pact is too important to get Dryad, which is everything that matters in this. The only thing that matters is just Dryad. I'm gonna just cut explosives altogether. It can be important. Yeah, let's just cast explosives. On the play, I'd rather be on the practic plan. Willow Blossoms won that game. Maybe Willow Blossoms drew my opponent into the Dryad, and that's why they won. This hand is kind of close. Okay. We lose to turn 1 Reclaimer, I think. I think this hand loses to turn 1 Reclaimer. And we have to shock on 1 because if we draw a Susar Dryad, it's just so much better. They move to 5. Well, of Blossom's better than Summoner's Pact, hell yeah. No turn 1 Reclaimer is pretty huge, actually. Damn it. I say that because we could technically... I guess not. Next turn we could pact for Reclaimer. The problem is we would lose to even Mind Sensor. Yeah, this card seems better than Willow Blossoms to me by a significant margin. Sue on my Flagstones. Okay. Sweet. So definitely hoping for no. If they tap out for anything, I think I win. Unless they answer this guy, of course. But Mind Sensor is brutal here, though. Apparition is also pretty brutal. So that's gonna take care of the Reclaimer. Wait, what? Opponent? Oh, they have Path. No, they don't, because they wouldn't allow me to activate. I don't like that from opponent. I understand my hate of wall. It's just worse than Explore. What is... Like, it's not that tough to understand. I just think that it's worse than Explore. It's not that I hate the card or anything. It's just that I think that it's worse than many other cards that you could be playing. I think my opponent should have killed my Reclaimer instead of my AmuLIT. That's just me. Next there will be a wall of exploration. No, I mean, I like the card Wall of Blossoms. I just don't think it's very good in this shell specifically. To be fair, though, my opponent is playing, apparently it's playing like a more Titan-based version of the deck, which is different than the kind of lists that I personally prefer. I prefer the more toolboxy style versions. So with more one-off alarm call targets and stuff like that. So my opponent is on a more Titan heavy version instead. So they're kind of just playing a different deck. Also, it's possible that I should have just activated Reclaimer in response to this alarm call, because if they actually are playing Mind Sensor, we are in a lot of trouble. I don't think about that. %100% should have. Oh, they went for Reclaimer? Okay, so we're gonna win now. I guess that they could go squatter my Valakut, which would be kind of annoying. Wow, they didn't do anything. 100% doing this. Pact. Dry it. Dry it. Play this. Boom. Boom. Dryad superiority is kind of the only thing that matters in this matchup. Whoever has a Dryad is very likely the one that's going to win. So we bounce this. And just replay this. Oops. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. And always yes. So my opponent could have something like Boil, but they don't have red mana, and even if they did have Boil, I can just kill my own Dryad. So it's not that big of a deal. If they just path my Dryad, I just let it go and I packed for another Dryad, so it's not that big of a deal. Winds of Abandon. Am I getting leveled here? Mind Sensor? Path. Sure. This is fine. Okay, so this could have gone a lot worse for me. This interaction could have gone a lot worse for me. Tolaria West here. Just gonna make sure that I have enough green sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I'll just go for this. Field, okay. So we don't have field anymore. Thank you for the follow, Tassanul. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're okay here. Just pogging them in case they have Rhyming Up as an out at this point. But now I can just go. I can just win with Titan, or whenever I feel like it's safe, I can just go for a Dryad. I guess I don't have second blue source. Yeah, I don't have second blue source, so I think this is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Five, 7 Dryad. Let's go. 5, 7 Dryad. Let's go. God damn it! Isn't this card good? So back to that, playing 2 lands and swinging for lethal. Or you're playing? I'm playing around second path Flamer. Because if I go for that and my opponent does have the path, we're actually in tough shape. Like, we need to draw into something in order to win that. So going for Titan, setting up the Dryad afterwards, plays around path very nicely. It's funny how much weirder this matchup is when I don't have access to Rhyming Up. Like, I kind of feel like I need a second field. I feel like I need a second field. So cut the crossroads. In case they play Hooded Mandrills, you got him. Exactly. 1 mana 4/4, pretty powerful. Hell yeah, I'm keeping this hand. Hell yeah, I'm keeping this hand. Let's go. Turn Timber, so sick, jeez. Turn Timber, so sick. Wow, my opponent has had Splinter Twin every single game. I guess not game 3, not game 2. Okay, so they Flagstones for Flagstones, which makes sense. So I think I'm gonna main phase this here, play around Mind Sensor. Wait, if I get Flagstones, we play Flagstones, we play AmuLIT, play Castle, and we get to Titan next turn? Kind of like that. Okay, so this is like a little bit redundant, but I think it might be worth it. Unless they have exactly... They could have exactly Operation here, which would be annoying. How often do you cast the new Grim Mythic? Once a league, less, more? Probably like twice a league or something. But it just depends a lot on the matchups, right? Against some matchups, you tend to do it more than against others. Logically, right? Copy Vestige and play AmuLIT. The problem with that is that it opens... It opens things up to... Oh, whoa! That is a card that I was not playing around, folks. That is a card that I was not playing around, folks. Well, shit. Got first place last week with Turn Teamer AmuLIT, and second today with Reclaimer at MailGS. The Dryad is nominating. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Dryad's insane. Still not playing around my own tech. I'm just leveling myself at this point, you know? Yeah, I guess that you were correct, Stabs. I didn't see, because I cited out Vestige, right? But I didn't see that my opponent actually had Vestige themselves over there. So it was kind of fine. Opponent's just main facing over here. No fear. Okay, so we're definitely going to Titan now. And we're going to pack to my opponent's next end step. And then we're going to do our thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to play Flagstones. Let's go for T-West. That's a pretty good draw. Honestly, that's kind of an insane draw. So the question is, do we play around path or not here? Do we play around path or not? I really want to YOLO, but if we YOLO and my opponent has a Dryad and we don't have white mana to path it, we might actually just be dead, like literal dead on board. Damn it. This turn is actually pretty tough. This turn is pretty tough. So I think I'm actually not gonna go for it. So Ghost Quarter and Mystic Sanctuary. This allows me to path, and pathing means that my opponent cannot do anything else. It's probably okay for me. Maybe they didn't have it, but it was just so risky, right? If they do have path, they have to path now, though. Okay, so they didn't have path. Man, this game is so insane, honestly. This game is super sick. So now I can kind of use my opponent's Archon to my own advantage to guarantee that my opponent's not gonna be able to Valakut me out of the game. Man, Reclaimer is so good. Reclaimer is such an insane card. I love it. Take two. They path my Titan. That's their turn. Okay. Go Squatter. So we have multiple options here. We can save this Field of the Dead, or we can they play their spell for the turn, so that doesn't matter anymore. So we can save this, or because I guess we don't need to hold up. Yeah, we don't need to hold up. Interaction for Dryad anymore. Like, they will need to path their own Archon to be able to do anything. And now we can pact for a Dryad. So, sack here, force the path to exile. Actually, maybe I don't like this that much. So I was actually one land behind here. No, my opponent can double spell. Yeah, maybe this wasn't good. In fact, maybe this was just horribly awful. I should have killed the Reclaimer, one of the Reclaimers actually. Because now they get a Valakut. Well, I couldn't play the Titan. I had to use the Reclaimer to get the Valakut, right? So that doesn't work. But I think I misplayed that turn for sure. They can use Celestial Sanctuary now to save this. But that denies them a trigger from Reclaimer. Which I think is what they're gonna do. I could use it. I couldn't because I can only play one spell a turn. So no, it just doesn't work. Oh, they naturally have the... Oh my god. That's brutal. Okay, I have to path here. I have to path right now. And my opponent's gonna... Wait, what? They have a second Dryad? Or they just did not activate Reclaimer? Wait, what? Well, that was a pretty big punt. Because now I just win. Okay, so I punted terribly and then my opponent returned the punt. So it's okay, it's all fair. It is all fair. I just punted horribly and my opponent was kind enough to return the punt. Because they could have killed my Dryad there, right? That is the big deal. Where's my Stronghold? Oh, there. Laxac. I am a Laxac. It is the best way to be. Just be a Laxac. Haste my bro. Let's go, baby. Another 4-1. I don't know, maybe this deck is also broken. Am I gonna kill all of their dudes? Yes, of course I am. What kind of question is that, Chad? Are you really asking me whether I'm gonna... My opponent's not conceding and I'm just gonna... Whether I'm just gonna kill all of their dudes? Of course I'm gonna kill all of their dudes. Before damage... Before damage, let me go find a land. All right, I'm done now. I'm done now. All right, we got there. We got there. Back to back 4-1. So that makes, is that 10? Do I have a foil paper of Reclaimer? No, I dislike foils, but I do own 2 playsets of Elvish Reclaimer. So that is the part that I'm doing. I do actually own 2 playsets of Elvish Reclaimer. They probably are still ridiculously cheap. I bought like 2 playsets for like less than $8. If 2 people sub, will I open a chest? Yeah, that sounds like something I could do, Adam, for sure. I own a misprinted reclaimer. It's great. Wow, that's pretty sick. All right, so we went 4-1 twice with this list. It was pretty sweet, honestly. I had a lot of fun. And we didn't really get to do too much of the silly nonsense. The real silly nonsense is when you have a reclaimer that untapped and you have an amulet. So before reclaimer was mainstream, because before reclaimer was on everybody's radar as a card, my reclaimers used to survive a lot. So very many times I would do something like turn 1 play a reclaimer, turn 2 play an amulet, play a bounce land with the trigger on the stack, like fetch for a land using the bounce land mana, and then bounce the land that I was fetching off of the reclaimer. You can do a bunch of nonsense on the back of Elvish Reclaimer. It's a lot of fun. So we didn't get to do all of that super cute stuff this league, but we went 4-1 twice. I played some games well, played some games not so well, but the list was pretty solid overall. It does feel like the mana base needs work, but the problem is I literally have no idea how to fix it. I have no idea how to fix it. I don't think that we can afford to play less than 3 basic forests. This is like the bare minimum amount of forests that we can play. And I guess that we could just play not 4 flagstones, but like the power of Reclaimer just goes down significantly. If they were put the full art Reclaimer, would you go for it or stay with the OG? I might go for it. I have actually been enjoying the full arts a lot lately. So my Dryads are full arts, my Castle Gurnbreaks are full arts. I play sets of both. I recently bought a one of Lurrus, a one of Yorion, and a one of... no, that's it, just those 2. And I bought a playset of Skyclip Apparitions, which are also full art. I bought a couple of Gargs, big Gargs, and both of them are full art. So I've been enjoying the full arts, but sometimes like the disparity in price is a little bit too high to be worth it. Like for example, the difference between a normal turn timber was like $8, and the full art one was like, when I bought them, the full art one was like 21, and I'm just like, that's just not worth it. Same thing with I bought a playset of Scourge of the Skyclaves, and also like the full art versions was unnecessarily more expensive, like over twice more expensive. So I'm like, yeah, that's just not worth it to me. But yeah, going back to the list, I wish I had room for more Explorers. This is another card that I wish I could fit more copies of. Turn Timber is another card that I wish I had more copies of. We could not play Explosives in the main deck if we made room for Blast Zone in the main deck. The thing is that in AmuLIT, I just like Explosives a lot better than Blast Zone. I mean, just period. I like Explosives a lot better than Blast Zone, but in Green-White Reclaimer, you kind of can't... There's no real reason to run Explosives, so you kind of want to run Blast Zone. It doesn't get rid of tokens, obviously, but that's like the only difference. Do I think this is better than AmuLIT or better than Green-White Reclaimer? Not probably. You're probably better off just finding like a better version, like just being a focused Reclaimer deck and being a focused AmuLIT deck instead of going halfway each way. But yeah, there are some things to try. I mean, I could go down on Flagstones, but there's like my original lists like a year ago, whenever this card was first legal. My original lists actually were playing 3 Flagstones, and I really wanted to go up to a 4th one, so probably I don't want to go down that path. Like clearly that path was just not good enough, so that's why we went this path, which is better. So probably not worth going through that again. One of these Temple Gardens could be the Cycle Land. which I forget the name, Scatter the Groves. Yeah. This is one of the changes that I thought about. The problem is, like, if you have a turn 1 Reclaimer hand and you find your one of Groves instead of your third Temple Guard, then you're gonna be really, really upset. Maybe it's worth it though. It's not as easy to play 35 lines at 6. Yeah, that was like one of the points that I was trying to make about this list. So we still managed to miss land drops in a couple of matchups, which is hilarious. Another thing is maybe we could cut one of the bounce lands, because having access to Reclaimer means that whenever we need a bounce land, we have more reliable access to it. The only problem with that is that if you don't draw a Reclaimer, you're drawing towards less bounce lands. So probably it's not worth to cut one of the bounce lands. We're already playing 8, which is kind of the bare minimum that I want to be playing. I don't know. This deck seems super hard to build. Vestige is necessary because we're running Stronghold, so maybe we want to cut Stronghold and just not play Vestige, play a second copy of Valakut in the main deck. But still, like, Vestige is turn 1 and tap green for playing Reclaimer. And Vestige is just such a great one-off to have access to. There's also not playing the Breeding Pool. Playing something else instead. Like, there's just so many ways that I could go with this list. But the priority of things that I would like to add is definitely I would like a third Symbiosis over another land, maybe one more fetch. Like, yeah, there's so many things that I want to fit, but I just don't have the space. Like, the Flagstones package is pretty, what's the word? Like, it's pretty expensive as far as slots that it requires from you. Like, even I'm super low, right? Like, I have 3 targets that I can fetch off Flagstones. This is super low. Like, you happen to draw 1 or, God forbid, 2 of these. Like, your Flagstones are just dead. Like, your Reclaimer just doesn't ramp you anymore, which is a huge loss. So, like, I already wish that I had access to more of this kind of stuff, right? Like, I wish I could play, like, I don't even know, like, Absent Triumph, I guess it would be the option. You need a certain amount of blue for delay. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Like, your mana base is like stretched so many different directions. You want to have access to more Valakus. You want to have access to more Field of the Deads. Like, I wish I could fit the second copy in the main deck, right? Instead of having it in the sideboard. I wish I had room for more Explorers. Like, there's so many things that I wish I had room for, and I just don't, and I can't make the room for it either. So it seems pretty tough to build this deck, but it's a fun thought experiment, and I really enjoy when I play like some version of AmuLIT that has like different play patterns than the ones that we usually see. So I always really I'm very excited whenever I get to play a list like this. So strongly recommended if you want to have some fun. Like, if you want to play AmuLIT, but I don't know, like you have been playing the same list for too long and want a breath of fresh air, this is 100% very much recommended. It's certainly worse than, I guess that's not even true, actually. I'm not even sure that it's worse than AmuLIT, than like regular AmuLIT, because Reclaimer does present some upsides in some matchups. Like, I would probably rather play against a Shadow deck with this list than with the other one, than with a normal Stacy list. Just because Reclaimers are like 1 mana must skills. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I had a good time. Hope you did have a good time as well. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons. And I will see you in the next video, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.